Reports have come from multiple facilities in the US, Ireland, England, Australia, and Canada of drones delivering pot, cigarettes, cell phones, and other goodies to prisoners. I think this is great. The reason I think that is because I believe the vast majority of prisoners don't deserve to be there. I can't speak for the statistics of the other countries I mentioned, but here in the US, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, only 2.9% of prisoners were convicted of violent crimes. Add in the 7% for sex offenders, and we're still under 10% for the people almost everyone would agree deserve to be there. An alarming 48.7% are there for non-violent drug offenses. It's easy to blindly think of prisoners as bad people, but is this actually the case? People have been unjustly punished, and so what if they want to get stoned or use a cell phone? I think drone deliveries to prison are a great idea and hopefully somehow a profitable one. The true measure of civilization in a society is not measured by how it treats its most affluent members, but how it treats its criminals. Prisoners are people too, and not all of them, not even most of them, are bad. I was going to talk about Bitcoin or Dash or PayPal changing its terms of service to steal digital content, but instead there's even more PotCoin news. The Colorado Marijuana Enforcement Division has finally issued a statement of position on the use of digital currencies for the purchase of pot, and their position is that it's okay. This is not specific to PotCoin, so Bitcoin and Dash or whatever will be acceptable too. It took a long time to get this response, and it's the response that we wanted to get. The pot industry's banking troubles have not improved at all. Instead, as the industry grows, the banking problems are getting worse. Armed with the knowledge that the use of cryptos is explicitly permitted, many dispensaries can start accepting PotCoin. Getting the knowledge out there is still going to be a challenge, but at least now we have something to work with. This news comes at a good time for PotCoin. After a month of going to shit and everything seeming to fall apart, it ends on an up note with PotLabs taking over and the M.E.D permitting the transfer of pot for PotCoins. That's it for this edition of Mad PotCoins. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.